guys. Good morning. Good morning, beautiful people. Listen, it's your girl Spice coming at you with another video because I was reviewing some of the last video where I was telling you about the trailer visit, and I don't feel like I really answered a lot of questions because I got more questions from people about like what we do at the trailer and kind of the setup and the takedown, like the beginning and the end. So I thought I would do a quick little get ready with me because I'm actually going up there to visit here a little bit later. And so I thought I could just maybe fill in some gaps a little bit more. So I'm going to try my best to do a lot in this looking at you guys, but if you see me looking this way, it's because I have a mirror there. And I'm putting on makeup and then got to do this hair. So excuse my bonnet chronicles for a moment, okay? What? Hold, please. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is just kind of start from the beginning to the end. When, like I said, fortunately, Washington State is one of the few states that still allows these family visits, which I wish more states would do it. I understand why some of them don't, just because there are some safety concerns in places, but I feel like if you have a good program and kind of a good foundation, that works itself out. But fortunately, we have the program, and you have to get qualified to go, and DOC provides all the requirements and what qualifies you to be able to go and things like that. Once you're approved to go, you typically, depending on where you're at, you sign up for your trailer date. And depending on what type of institution, how big it is, how many people are getting these visits, determines, well, and also how often they offer the visits. That's what determines how long it is between each visit. So I've waited up to 4 months at some places because it's a bigger institution and there's a lot of people that would participate. So you just have to wait your turn. And that kind of sucked because it would take a long time to get your visit. Ugh, I wish I could put y'all here. I got to figure out how to jimmy rig this system. I might have an idea. Hold, please. Ooh, y'all, I think I figured it out. Ooh, yay. Okay, I think this will be better because then I'll at least be looking kind of the same direction. Okay, so you get approved for your visits. You sign up for a date. Like I said, the date depends on how many people are participating. Once you have your date, you just wait until that date goes. So you kind of still go to your regular visits every week or how often you go. Some people don't go that often. Fortunately, I don't live very far, so I can see him a couple times a week. I normally see him for one short visit, so that's like it's from 6 to 8:30. I'll see him one evening during the week that way, and then I'll see him 12 to 4 on another day. I go between 1 and 2 times a week, just depending on what I got going on or if he has something going on. So once you get your visits though, they send you like all of the information on what's allowed, what's not allowed, what you can bring in, and I'd like to say they're pretty detailed. The one thing that's always a pet peeve is that everywhere you go, go ahead with that. There's a little bit of a difference. Like some places will let you bring in certain things that other places are like, oh no, that's banned. There's a policy on that. And you're like, well, there wasn't a policy last month when I went at this other place, you know? But I mean, that's just kind of the give and take of it. But at the place we're at now, the guards there are very nice. Everywhere else, they always treat you like you're the convict, like you're the one that's going to prison. It's rude. It's just rude. And the other thing about it that's annoying is that you know good and well if they didn't have that blue suit on and we're not in some like power position, they wouldn't be talking to you crazy like that. And even still, like that position is a customer service position. So if you have sucky customer service, you should not be in that position. There's this one lady at this place we've been to twice, and she's been there both times. And mind you, it was years between the first time we went and the second time we went, because during the time he's been locked up, we've gotten transferred and stuff for various reasons. And so we've been back and forth a couple times. And this one lady, she's always been there, and she is just snotty. Like, I don't understand why she hates life so much. And it's clear that she hates her job, but it's like, get another job then. Like, find something else to do. If you hate your job, like, we can feel that you hate it. So find something else to do. But, you know, that would just be too much like right. So you got to deal with her. And I mean, I just learned to, like, if they say, like, ma'am, your shirt's too short, I don't put up no fuss. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, really? I've worn this before. But look, I don't want no problems, because the last thing you need is to have a guard hate you. Because when they do, they pick on everything you do, and it makes life difficult for you. It makes life difficult for him. It's just not worth it. So like I said, there's plenty of people that are guards that work there that are just mean and hateful. But I try to just stay out of their way. But fortunately, where we're at right now, everybody's cool. Everybody's pretty chill. And I appreciate that. So you get your visit, and you're getting ready for your visit. One thing that is pretty consistent is that everything that you buy for the trailer, whether it's food or like hygiene things, it has to be in brand new, unopened containers. Like I think I mentioned, I told y'all I got a ton of garlic powders and salt and peppers, and I just take them to work and put them down and be like, anybody need this? Because nobody need that much salt. Now, some places you go, which I miss, it's like, because there's pros and cons everywhere you go. I mean, it's prison. It's not the Hilton or the Four Seasons, you know? But one thing I do miss is that all the other ones that we've been to, pretty much all of them have provided like basic things, like your salt, pepper, oil, flour, sugar, those kind of things. And a lot of times they let you leave if like I had a thing of syrup that I wasn't going to use at home. I could leave that for the next person. And that's benefited us because, Babe loves his Mrs. Butterworth, but I don't need to have 6, which I'm going to show you one day. I have like 6 bottles of half-used Mrs. Butterworth. And I've tried to be slick about how I could like make them look resealed and fill them up with the other half of the old one, but I get kind of chicken because I don't want to get there and they be like, nah, this is contraband, and then cancel the visit, or being nervous the whole time. It's just not worth it for me when the syrup only costs like $2, like, girl, there's bigger problems. You get everything unopened, and that's what you saw me packing up, was the food. So I pack up a cold bag and I pack up a dry bag. When you get there, you typically are waiting in your car until they say like you can come in, or like they give you the signal on getting out of your car. And at this place, it's kind of interesting because normally we're in a whole other section from where the incarcerated people are. But this place, they're literally working like right around our car. And a couple weeks ago, there was an escape there, and that was a whole ordeal. I might have told you that too. Oh, Lord, y'all, my eyebrows are looking nothing alike. Let's redo that. You get this false sense of comfort because you go there so often. And I've actually been checked about this, because you get comfortable because you kind of get familiar with faces. You get familiar with guards. You get familiar with some of the inmates and their families. And while that's okay, I feel like it's natural. You're human beings, and that kind of thing is what goes on. Y'all, I had stepsisters. They wasn't even cousins, first blood. They was like 3rd, 4th cousins. And these probably still gonna look raggedy. Raggedy, a mix between ratchet and raggedy. Girl, what you doing? What you doing? What is you doing? Anywho, I just need to fill them in a little bit. You get this false sense of comfort because you're around people all the time. You see them at visit. You stand outside and wait with their family members. And it's almost like, oh, yeah, no, I know them. But you don't know them. You don't know these people. You don't know what they're in for. You don't know what their family's doing, like, right before they got there. You don't know what their family's trying to bring in, the thing it's supposed to bring in. So, I mean, I just, from the beginning, like, Babe has always told me, just keep yourself to yourself. Stay out of folks' business. And that's what I try to do. I mean, look, my name is Bennett, and I ain't in it. I don't see nothing. I don't hear nothing. I just go and stand in line and wait for my name to get called. And I feel like there's some girls that I've seen over the years, and maybe this is just me, but I feel like they probably think I am so stuck up and bougie because I don't really participate in conversation. I just don't like getting in the mix. It's easy to get in the mix, and then once you're in, it's hard to get out of it. Or someone could put your, I don't want nobody speaking on my behalf or putting my name and being like, yeah, so-and-so's wife was doing that too. No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't. Don't do that. Don't do that. Keep my name out your mouth. Just because I was there, I don't want you, because I was there, you thinking you can speak on my behalf. Don't do that, ma'am. That's going to create a lot of problems for everybody, especially you. So you wait in your car, they call you out. You got to unload all of your bins. So the two bins the one big bin and the blue bag, and then I had my personal bag, which I think I showed you in the car. And normally the places make you do it. So I've had like a rolly cart because you have to carry the stuff far, and I put my stuff on something with wheels so that I could wheel it in. Otherwise, like carrying this big old things 1/4 mile sometimes, I mean, through gravel, like it's just hectic. But this place, the guards, like I said, they're so pleasant and nice that they'll help you, especially if you're a girl and they see you're struggling. They're really good about like, oh, I'll help you with that. And I was shocked because in the other places I've been, they will not touch your stuff. They're like, it's a policy. We can't help you. And then, but like I've had to help maybe an older lady or something because she's barely getting herself to the door and you want her to bring all this stuff in by herself. And then sometimes they have a problem with that because I guess they think between the time I walk her to the door, I could have given her something to bring in or vice versa. I don't know. And I can't even say they're wrong because the reason they're tripping about it is because someone's done it. So obviously there's a reason that they're acting like that. So we go in and we put all of our stuff on a table or like a conveyor belt. Some places has all your stuff go through like a metal detector like they do at the airport. But this place doesn't. They just put everything on the table and you know, I spend all this time meticulously packing everything so it all fits in, and then you get there and normally they just take it out, throw it on the table, make sure everything's sealed. They're literally going through everything. And then you're having to play puzzle pieces again to put everything back to get to where you need to go. Sometimes I'm just like, you know what? Y'all are doing the most. So you go through that, and normally, I mean, I've pretty much figured out how to pack and it be where I'm not having to carry a bunch of bags. So some ladies just bring their groceries in the bags that they came in. And I get it, especially if you don't have something to bring them in. But gosh, that just seems so, and it's not as efficient to me. It just seems like it's a hassle. But to each their own. I mean, you do the best you can. We're already so stressed with having to shop just perfect and get your list right because, like I said, you can't forget anything. You got to bring it. Otherwise, you just go without it. Ain't like you can run to the store. You get all your stuff unpacked. They pack it back up. You put it in this back of this van. And it's just one of those regular white utility vans you see around. And they load you up in the back. Now, in this van particularly, there's a screen between us and the guards. So, you know, I mean, we feel like we locked up too. Man, the things you go through sometimes. So we drive up to the little trailer, which is really a cute little duplex. I mean, this place has it really nice. It's all fenced in, of course, but they also have like a regular fence with wood that separates the two units. There's a barbecue pit there. There's a picnic table out there. There's a really cute little swing that me and him can sit on and just sit out there and talk, which we do all the time because it's just nice. And even though you're surrounded by gates that have barbed wire on the top of it, it reminds me of like one of those movies like on Lifetime where it's the start of the movie and you might see like the kids are playing and it's just so joyful. The sun is shining and here she goes giving him the burgers to put on the grill and he's grilling and it looks like this perfect family because they have the white picket fence and the little swing and it looks so perfect. And then they do like the slow zoom out and the music starts to change and you see the barbed wire around the fence. So it's like where are they at or what is going on? You know what? You know what I mean? It just reminds me of something that you see like on a movie because it doesn't look like it's an issue or that there's anything wrong with it when you're up close to it. It's when you pan out, you look around and you're like, oh my God, we're in a prison. And there's been some places where you are literally walking through the prison to get to the trailer. And I was so uncomfortable because I could just feel the eyes. But I'm not used to having all these men looking at me crazy with their hungry eyes. Put them eyes away, boy. The guard takes you or opens the car up. Babe comes out. He takes all the food. He loads everything into the house. You go in the house. They've already cleaned it, everything for you. The guard comes in, makes sure like you have paper towels and toilet paper and that everything looks on the up and up. And then they leave. Throughout the weekend, they have what they call count, which they do every day, but they do it still while you're at trailer. And at count, babe has to go outside and be made sure that they count him to make sure that he hasn't run off or anything. Now, in most places, they do a wellness check on the visitor. And this place has yet to do that. We've had 3 here, and they have not checked on me one time. One time. And I always tease them. I'm like, they don't even know. I could be dead in here all weekend, and they ain't called to see nothing about me. He's like, I know, that's kind of weird. At the various counts, that's when we're interrupted. There's one in the morning. There's one late morning. I think it goes like, there's one at like 6:30, at 10:30, at 4:30, and then again at like 9:30, something like that. So, and they're really quick. Like, it's not, they literally, sometimes they'll just have him wave. Other times they might come to the door, but they're not really intrusive at this place, which is really nice. First thing we get in there, of course, we greet each other, kiss, hug, say, babe, I miss you, and blah, blah, blah. I'm so excited. But both of us are still so on edge that it's like perfect that we have the distraction of having to get the food in the refrigerator, because most times I've packed the food, I've driven down, I've had to wait, and my stuff starts to unthaw, like my ice cream and things that you want to stay frozen, you know? So I'm always like, I gotta get the ice cream in there. Before we do anything, I'm always like, babe, I gotta get this ice cream. Get my perishables in the refrigerator, please. So then, yeah, visit starts. And they have like a video library, so we pick out the DVDs beforehand, what we want to see. And then they have like a Wii game system, and they also have like games. They have kids stuff in there for people who have children. There's 2 bedrooms, so one just has the queen size bed or full size bed. I don't think it's a queen. Then the other room has 2 like bunk beds, like, but they're separated, or 2 twin size beds. Then there's a living room, and then there's a kitchen, and there's a bathroom. So, I mean, it's just a 2-bedroom little apartment. They give you your, the beds come made, which, that kind of always used to gross me out. I know I go to hotels and stuff, but I don't know. This is probably so dramatic, but it kind of grossed me out because they wash all of our stuff with everybody else's stuff in this big industrial washer. And it's really no different than a hotel, so I really should stop tripping and stop being bougie, but it always is like, you know. So then throughout the day, I mean, we make food. We cook it just how we want to. It's just like you're living like a regular couple. It's like both of you just got home from work. You're unpacking the groceries. You're kissing, you're hugging, you're catching up, you're talking about stuff that you don't want to talk about over the phone, or stuff that like has happened that you just forgot to tell him. Like, you're just playing catch up. And we spend a good like 2 or 3 hours playing catch up at the beginning of the visit. Just talking and talking and talking. Even though we talk every day, but you know, we're not on a monitored phone call, but it's also timed, you know, so it's less, I don't know, I don't want to say stressful, because I don't feel stressed when I talk to him, but it's just more relaxed. You're just kind of with your man, you know, y'all are just being together. Of course they let you bring in birth control, whatever form you choose, but then we found the other day in the side drawer, there was like a whole drawer, one of those like side table drawers, and it was filled to the brim with condoms, which was like, oh, well, that's good that they're wanting to have safe sex and unplanned pregnancies, because that's always a good thing. In the summertime, we would barbecue a lot, because, you know, that just, I don't know what it is about a man and his grill, but when I tell you that man stood a little bit taller, and he just was feeling himself on that grill, flipping that meat. I said, okay, Daddy, I see you out there. And then you look, some places will let you play music, like you could bring CD, they'll let you go through their CD collection, which is not that great, but they had a couple things. This place don't let you do that. So we got the radio that is, you know, radio. The crazy thing is, like, it's one of those radios that is like an old school mini boombox, and I hadn't seen one in years. And the music, the quality is just so horrible. I mean, it is horrible. and you're like listening to it and it's all static and he's all bumping it like it just sounds so good because he don't know no better. And I'm just like, can we turn that off? Because the noise, the louder you turn it on, the more like staticky it gets. But that's the other thing, like him learning how to work these electronics. Oh my God. And I learned, like, just let him try to fail at it. Because if I go over there and just do it real quick, he be low-key upset. Only because he's like, man, I'm supposed to be able to know how to do this. I'm the man. I'm supposed to be able to know how to do this. And I just come over there and it's like, oh, you just push this, and this. And he just be feeling stupid. So I learned my lesson. I just let him sit over there and tinker at it and let him fail at it. And then when he ain't looking, I'll just do something that will set him up for success. Because I can only imagine how hard that is to, like, every time you go out to trailer, it's already a new world for you, but then you're out there and you feel so silly. But I think it's good because I always tell him, like, babe, there's so much that you haven't seen since you've been locked up so long that you're going to feel silly. But it's okay to ask questions, you know? And I just got to remember to let him be a man and not try to baby him. But this place I love because we check in at 2:45 or no, yeah, 2:30. And then we don't check out until 2:30. So checkout really just consists of us having to kind of clean up after ourselves. You take all the linens off the mattresses. You put all your towels and everything in a big bag, including the shower curtain. And then we just do kind of a spot clean. Like we'll clean up if there's like hair in the sink or clean the dishes and clean off the oven and stuff. But then they have a crew that comes in and really cleans it before the next person comes in. So that's really nice because not a lot of places do that. You're the one responsible and have to clean the whole thing. So it's like you're having to vacuum and mop and clean the tub. And it's just like, I don't mind doing that because I did use it. But at the same time, like then the last part of your visit is just kind of rushed and it's all about cleaning up, which is, it always kind of put a damper on things for me. Because then they come and you don't really have a whole lot of goodbye time because you've just been cleaning all that time. I don't know. Oops, a little bit much. So you pack everything up, which of course you have a lot less to take home because you guys have eaten a lot. Babe starts drinking because they have to do a urine test when they come back to make sure that they ain't been like smoking weed or I guess taking meth or whatever people do. You would not be surprised at how many people go out there and end up getting caught doing something. And I'm just like, okay, not even if it's just for yourself, but that means you're jeopardizing the program for everybody else. Like, why is that important to do? Now, let me just stop back because I get it. We're close to the end, so our priorities are a lot different and we have a lot more to lose than a lot of people, especially if people are still having years and years to go, or they came in and didn't have much time at all. So your perspective kind of changes on what's important to you, you know? Because the more time you have, the less you're like, well, whatever. In a lot of cases, people are kind of like that. But then too, people come in with certain addictions. And even though they might be clean for however long they haven't had their trailer, when they get a chance, that's what they're going to do. I get like people having to survive and make the best of it in their situation. But now my view is different because I'm just like, we don't want no problems. So y'all do what you do, but don't do that when we there, you know? Not a judgment thing. Like, I don't think that makes them horrible people, but it's like the rules are there for a reason and we're trying to follow them. So as long as you don't impede on us following the rules, we'll be fine. So long story short, the guards come in. Normally it's two, but this time one guy came. He's really cool. He even let me sit in the front seat. I have to sit in the back like a prisoner. Babe loads everything in the back of the van again. They take me down to my car because they take my keys when I get there. They take my keys and my ID. My phone has to stay in my car. My purse has to stay in my car. But they hold on to my keys and my ID and they have it in a lockbox. So they give that back to me. They take me to my car and then I get in my car and I bounce. I roll out. And then what they do is they roll back up to get Babe and give him his P test, and then they take him back to his unit. And then normally he calls me a little bit right before I get back home, just to make sure my drive is okay and kind of let me know how it went after the pee test and everything if there's a problem, because sometimes they'll have them up there waiting, and they know that they have to pee right when it's in the visit, but then the guards won't come right back, so he's like holding all this pee. And boy, he's called super pissed sometimes, like, because that's uncomfortable when you've drank a whole gallon of something, because you can't not pee in time. If you pee in time, they'll take that as a guilty, like make it like you're not peeing on purpose, and they'll give you an infraction for that. So he has to be ready to pee on the drop, and then you gonna lollygag and not come. I bought this new lip. It's a NYX, NYX, and I like it. It feels good. It's matte, but it's not like super drying. One thing I can tell that I hope improves is it doesn't give you a whole lot. Okay, cool. That's good enough. So then, yeah, I get in my car, and that's when the decompression happens. It's when I start just like getting back into my zone of being, you know, single spice over here and just trying to make it work, you know. It used to be so hard to leave. Like, I would be just depressed. I would be so sad. Oh, sorry, I just snatched off my bonnet like y'all was fully expecting this. Me over here looking like Miss Seeley. But yeah, I do my hair in 2-strand twists, a couple of them a night. Especially lately since this weather's been so crazy. The frizz just is, the 2-strand retwisting at night just kind of helps the frizz chill out a little bit. Then I always put some oil to get it kind of in my scalp. Come home and you unpack and you just kind of get ready to go back into your mode of living life kind of as a single woman without being a single woman. It's kind of a tricky thing like that. Like, you do everything like a single woman does. You don't get the perks of being single, which is like going out, dating, doing all those things that single women do because you're trying to be faithful. I mean, I do go out, but it's different, you know. You don't get those perks. You're living as a married, committed woman, which, I mean, I am that way by nature. Like, I'm not really this, like, go out party kind of chick. But when you're living like a married woman, it'd be nice that your bags get brought in for you, that the trash gets taken out. Oh, there's been many a day he's called me and he's in a good mood and he's just feeling himself or feeling fine and like calling to check and see how his baby's doing. And I'm pissed because I just had to take my trash out in the rain and he was nowhere to be found. You know, stuff like that he can't really control. But some days, I don't care that you can't control it. All I know is that my need is not being met, and I'm blaming you. It's your fault. And he always like, I know, it's my fault, isn't it? Because I always blame him. But it's gotten a lot better over the years. Like, I kind of check myself a little bit more. Because the reason I think I can check myself more is because what I can say about that man, if there is something he can do for me, he does it. He don't even tell me he's doing it. He just gets it done, you know? And I know that if he was home, I wouldn't have to lift a finger because I know his desire is to take care of me and to do those things for me. But sometimes, you know, you get in your feelings and I'm mad, so I'm going to tell you why I'm mad. But I try to do it less so that it doesn't hurt his feelings because I know it bothers him. Okay, so now we got to wrangle this. Oh. See, I love the definition it gives, and I love how this color that I put in is taking to my hair. I just love it. I always have a problem with my front. It never quite is right. It's always like the Luther Vandross curl. It just don't quite get there. So we had our last trailer was what, last weekend? Yeah, it was last weekend. So today will be the first time I've seen him in the week. I've talked to him every day though. But I'll go see him for a few hours tonight. We'll kind of just catch up. kind of funny because the next few days after trailer, we're both so mushy. Like, babe, I miss you. I love you so much. And now that he's so much closer to being home, we're making plans that are like really in the mix, like in the making. It's so weird because we've planned for years and daydreamed and wished and dreamt about things. And now it's like, oh my God, it's just around the corner. So cool. So y'all, I've been talking on this thing for 33 minutes. Let me wrap this up because I know y'all tired of hearing me. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to fill in the gaps a little bit more. I probably repeated a lot of what I said before, but people were asking me a few questions, which I really appreciate. You guys, I have a good solid handful of y'all, and I'm just so pumped about it because there's a few of you that will comment on each video, and just, I love it. It's so sweet, and it's fun. Like, I really been enjoying it. But like I said, if you have more questions, I don't mind answering these questions. So please keep them coming. Yes, you can email me like you have at spicelife81@gmail.com, or you can just leave them in the comments under a video because, you know, I check them out. So this is kind of my finished look. I'm going to lay these baby hairs down because, you know, I got to have my baby hairs laid, okay? Don't be looking raggedy. But I thank you guys for watching. I promise I will give you more details, but I just kind of want to, before I do it, I just need to see if there's interest. Because if y'all ain't interested, then I won't tell you. You know what I'm saying? So let me know if it's something you want to see or hear more of. If you want to know more details about our relationship or what's going on with our relationship or who I'm even talking about, because I'm not even sure I've told you that yet. Let me know. I don't think I told y'all, but I lost like 3 days of footage. 3 days. Long story. I'm still too hurt. It's still too fresh for me to even talk about it right now. But 3 days. So I'm kind of behind. So that's why there hasn't been videos up every day this week. But it'll get back to that once I kind of get my inventory up. So guys, I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Please come back. And I will be sure to update you and answer any questions you have. But I just appreciate y'all so much. And I hope you come back, okay? And I'll see you later.